sports listeners, I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And all those, that's really exciting. And all those people in businesses that support those out. That's what happens July 5th after the 4th and after the bing, bang, boom.
Unbelievable.
Got a lot of energy running through this room. Dr. D, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
And we go around the room. We had Brian Falk. Woo! Michael Baker.
Good morning. Good morning.
Andy Gill.
Woohoo! What's up?
Terri
How are you?
Cooper,
How are
our resident Dr. Energy. You're all in the house. How you guys doing?
Great. All right.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, you're a guest sourdough bread lady. See, you're not supposed to be here right now. All right. See, you're supposed to be wandering in, but I let you in here because you're making crepes, and we're all starving.
The aromas wafted in from outside. We pulled her in.
It's like, oh my God! Since you're not supposed to be here, but you are here. Okay, what are you doing right now? We have Victoria, sourdough bread lady, making us breakfast. What do you got going here?
I have crepes that I made from sourdough bread that didn't rise. It's full of...
That's recycle. So
that's a wonderful way of
That's
using
what
it.
happens when you make a mistake.
Right, excellent.
Innovative.
She'll eat anything. Give it
So
to the queen.
it's full of fiber, and it's sprouted the grain, and it has organic Greek yogurt and blueberries and strawberries and bananas, all good stuff.
Let me tell you, it beats burnt toast.
Yeah.
Big time. That's really good, man.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. What am I getting served last? What? That's okay though. No, I'm just wondering. No.
How are you going to talk with your mouth full?
No, it's okay. I don't know. Look at you. You got it first. What do you care?
I'm playing with it, but I'm not eating it because I might have to talk.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. I love how Brian Falk, he does this because I've gone out to many meals with him. He prays over it. He smells it. He's kind of like, I don't know. It's more. Okay, I finally got one.
The old Latin is noticia, which is noticing or paying attention. And the more you pay attention to everything, but in this case, your food, and that includes looking at it, smelling it, touching it, sharing a moment with it, the more enjoyable it is, and the more experience you can have with it in a deeper way. We tend to kind of rush through things, but I like to at least smell things and at least give a moment to just think about where the ingredients came from, who prepared it, how things got to my plate, and it makes the whole experience a little richer. That's just my thing.
I can't even eat mine.
I did that. I have been thrown out of more restaurants for getting too intimate with my food. It's just terrible.
It's so funny. Michael Baker, he's waiting on his.
Oh, I'll get mine soon. How we doing, Erica?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
And listen, we had a great connection here. We got Saul Alcaraz. He's going to be coming in after the break. What did we do? We did it again. Michael did it again. Michael Baker.
You did it. You made the connection. You make those connections.
I like it.
Have kids going to the glass blowing and learning. Yeah, it's tough to say. It is, but have a great time and love what they're doing. And had an opportunity a while ago to go visit it, and it was actually a very warm day when I went down there. When you walk in, it was even warmer. It was
everything was melted.
Everything was melted. Yeah. Everything was melted. But it was a great experience for the kids, and again, want to thank him for what he's doing for our kids at the Boys and Girls Club. And
we're going to do it for all 5 clubs. Or
absolutely,
do it?
Of course we will. Yeah,
okay,
of course
cool.
we will. We're doing it with our West Side kids first, and then we'll do Goleta, and then most likely Carp after that, and eventually get Lompoc kids to come on down.
Yeah, I say this. I mean, every show, every time I talk about Saul, I mean, he's been gracious enough to continue the gift over at St. Raphael's for the 8th grade, and they always do a survey on all of the extracurricular activities that they get to do in 8th grade, and his field trip wins like every single year, hands down, for the last 7 years. Love Saul. Santa Barbara Art Glass. If anybody really wants to see his work, all they got to do is go to the Casablanca restaurant on State Street, or they could visit my office on Mission, because my whole wall is filled with this stuff. It's beautiful.
You showed me photos. It's beautiful.
It's awesome. It's fantastic.
I'm impressed by the fact that Saul came in with his furnace.
Yeah.
He brought his furnace with him.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
It's going to light it up.
That's how we got the crepes.
That's how we got the crepes, exactly.
Nice. All right.
And
Andy,
very good, by the way.
Andy Gill's in the house.
Oh, hey.
Have you started over at City College?
So today's the 5th. I actually start officially next week.
Nice.
Yes, I'm pumped. But I feel really good. As you can tell, I'm in my flip flops. I just came from the pool. You got to rejuice those batteries as an educator, and I'm feeling good. I'm well rested. I'm actually ready to go back to work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Aw.
I know there are charging stations for Prius, but where's your charging station?
Yeah.
It's at East Beach.
So talk to me. Let's one more time. Let's tell review because you could still sign up for City College.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's talk about City College and the Promise Program again. This is awesome.
So any senior that just recently graduated this past month, it's not too late. Maybe you don't know what your plans are. Maybe your financial aid package didn't end up what you wanted it to be. Santa Barbara City College for all of our local graduates is free for 2 years. So I would highly encourage you guys to take advantage of that. There's a couple caveats. I mean, you got to be a full-time student. You got to enroll in 12 units. You have to fill out your FAFSA. You still have time to do that. It's real simple. I don't know. I'd rather go to school for free than work.
I think it's a wonderful offering to the community. But I'm curious, if I was a student ready to think about going to City College, I'd be concerned about the large number of students in the classroom and going on wait lists and having to deal with high numbers. What does that look like?
So they've taken all that stuff into consideration. They are planning for an influx of students. They've hired. They've offered more classes. They're ready for this.
So more classes, more teachers.
Absolutely.
They got the space for it.
Yes, so they've mapped it out. They've been in the planning process for a few years now, and they were ready to launch. So there's
That's
room.
Santa Barbara Foundation.
Yes.
So anybody out there, if you think that just warms your heart, honestly, they could still use more donations. They got the first year covered, and they're gonna. I'm sure it'll be filled by the time the promise needs to be filled. But if you need to feel you're in a mood. It's the 5th of July. You want to write a check. That is a great, program to support for Santa Barbara Foundation, and I'm just what a community. I mean, it just doesn't end.
Yeah.
I mean, honest to God, it just doesn't end. This is going to support all those 60% of our kids in our county that are at or below the poverty level. It's going to give them a chance. And I think Kristen Sneddon said it best, was she was one of those poverty kids, and that opportunity at City College gave her a chance. And here she is later with her master's. And Michael could talk about it. Again, I mean, you're not getting. You were given a pair. You got to work hard, right? Yeah. And you did it, and it's just like, it's nice that the community takes care of itself. And that's what I've always wanted to say.
And according to the foundation, it's not just for this next year, it's for forever.
Nice.
So they've already mapped it out with their financial advisors and their planners, and they're planning to do this for the rest of time.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, if somebody recently moved to Santa Barbara, let's say 6 months ago or a year, how long do they have to be a resident in town for this to apply?
So unfortunately, this is only for local high school graduates.
Okay, so if they graduated
from anywhere between Carp and Goleta,
I see.
They would be eligible for this promise.
Okay.
Other than that, though, I mean, there's the Board of Governors waiver. Anybody moving into the town, it's still highly affordable.
Yeah.
Lots of ways of going about it. And the financial aid is still there. So
no, not was it Gaviota or no? I think it was like San Ynez Solvang. No,
I don't know. I don't want to.
Yeah, check it. Yeah,
I think it's Gaviota. I thought they mentioned Gaviota.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's right. It's all good. We could all check. That's just like dot the I.
What about housing? Is there any relationships to any of the student housing at all, or is that kind of left to the students?
That's a great question. I don't want to say anything that I don't know.
Sure.
I'm a counselor.
You got to know everything, man.
Just tired.
We come to you with it all, man. Come on,
Yeah. So,
Looks like you need not spend so much time at the beach, boy.
regarding housing,
Gotta read that handbook.
Yeah, the SBCC housing website is incredible. What I know the promise doesn't cover housing, but I'm sure that there's people there that can point you in the right direction.
Because certainly one of the advantages, or depends on how you look at it, disadvantages, you have people staying in Santa Barbara versus going out of city or out of state for college, which keeps the population, a little bit higher and keeps people that were from here staying here for at least for a couple years until they might transfer. And so, of course, you have to house them somewhere unless they're staying at home. So
Yeah.
obviously that's an issue for the community.
I have been a person who takes in students for the last 7 or 8 years. So I've had lots of students. Most of them have been ESL students from other countries going to SBCC. So it's been a very enriching experience for me to learn about the other cultures and to be welcoming to Santa Barbara. And most of these kids absolutely fall in love with Santa Barbara.
Absolutely.
And so definitely for any kid who's concerned about a place to stay, you go into SBCC housing and there's just lots and lots of opportunities for places to
And
stay.
I'm super excited. I mean, next week I start all my training, so I would say let's have a real conversation in 6 months.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's an ongoing. This is just the beginning, right? So this is just the beginning dialogue because
Absolutely.
this is a new thing. We'll see
Absolutely.
what plays out, but it's great.
Yeah.
Dr. Enich, we got another minute before a break. You want to say anything?
Sure. Hi. How you doing?
Great crepes.
Like the crepes, right? Crepes are good, right?
Yeah, I'm already on my
What would
second.
you like me to talk about? We have a minute. Well, I don't want to change the subject. So let's talk about self-hypnosis. I have just a minute, and I wanted to share with everybody how excited I am that I've added hypnosis to my therapy practice. And I've been doing some wonderfully productive work with folks and helping, especially with the athletes, to improve their games, their concentration, and their confidence easily and quickly. And so I wanted to share that, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about that.
Terri Cooper, I see an crumped up napkin. Where's your crepe?
My crepe is under here waiting for the next break.
Okay, got it.
begins now.
She's hiding it from me. All right, these are outstanding. All right, we're going to get with Victoria at the break, and we got Saul Alcarez from Santa Barbara Art Glass. So let's take a break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m. This is a whole hour.
Hour?
Hour.
2
Hour. It's
3 hours.
hour.
Now we're about halfway through the show, almost.
This is a half hour.
Well, that's where we are now.
No, it is because I'm full now. So
Isn't that good?
these crepes
Awesome.
are pretty darn good. I
Just-
mean, for a fail of bread and to get a crepe, I mean, that's how most things are invented, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so you go
Now-
out for one thing, and all of a sudden it's called life, right?
My question is, can you recreate these crepes, or do you have to make a bad loaf of bread again in order to get there?
Yeah, the reason it didn't rise because I put too much fiber in it
Okay.
as the oat bran, and it didn't allow it to rise. So I probably can't put oat bran next time I make crepes. But
Yeah.
I won't put it in my bread anymore.
No, but if you're making crepes, this
Because
is the
bread,
way.
I made a new batch and it came out beautifully.
Oh, lovely.
See?
I mean, these are
I
the
mean,
best.
it's like-
I've never had a crepe like this. I'm not a crepey person, right? but this is the. I mean, I'm not making it because it's such a, like Brian said, it's such a difference in what you expect to eat in a crepe.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a Superman crepe.
Well,
It's a really good, healthy. You know, you're eating something that your body wants. It's really kind of fun.
Exactly,
because my
and-
body's saying eat another one, but I'm not going to do that.
It will
Okay.
be. It will
I'm gonna stop.
literally.
Michael says he's
It
pointing
will
to me.
literally move you.
I could imagine. I
gotta
got to
go.
make sure. The show's over in 30 minutes, so I'll be moved after that.
yeah, but the thing is that is like you just said. You know, many great things come out of so-called mistakes.
Right.
But the problem there is, if you don't remember the mistake you made, then how are you going to recreate it? And that's why I asked you
I
the
have
question.
to write it down.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I will record it.
Good. Because this is
On the
this
radio.
Is awesome. There you go. Really. Then we'll play it back every week.
Yes.
You notice how you get invited back regularly.
Yeah.
You know, because I know exactly. We're like, look at them. Everyone's eating more. Everyone's waiting. You know, you're like a mama, and everyone's waiting. Like, please, can I have more?
I love
more porridge,
feeding
please.
Peter.
Yes,
Between
nice,
the
awesome.
bread lady and nothing bunt cakes, unbelievable.
Wow.
If you don't mind me asking, I hear a little bit of an accent. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from former Russia, Muslim part of Russia, Azerbaijan, Baku. Yeah, it's on the border with Iran.
Yeah.
I survived.
So tell us again, for those who missed your visits in the past, how you got started in getting, doing this, making bread.
I came from Russia, and I couldn't find good bread except for Wonder Bread. And
that's not good bread, but go ahead.
I was wondering if I can even eat it. And I always I was longing for the bread I used to eat in my childhood, so I started experimenting. And then I met people who were baking with with fermentation method from the starter, and they would bring starter from all over the world, and I would beg them to give me some. And then
define starter for somebody who just has no clue what a starter is.
Mm-mm.
So what is it? What is
the
it?
starter is a natural yeast that develops in.
It's like a fungus.
I hope not.
Like a natural yeast. What does that mean?
It's a live culture, like probiotic, that grows in practically everything, especially if you mix flour with water and leave it out in the open air, it will start growing, bubbling. So that's a culture. That's yeast.
It's a culture.
That's a natural yeast culture.
Not a fungus.
Not a fungus.
There's no fungus among us. Don't worry.
The yeast that are commercial yeast, they're artificially grown, and they're controlled. I don't know how they.
Is it chemically induced, or is it not?
And it's also chemically induced, so it's not healthy. And that's why they grow. They make the bread grow fast. So you get the ready loaf of bread in 3 hours.
Wow.
And with the way I make it, it takes days to ferment.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, it takes 3 days to prepare. I sprout the grain, and I don't use wheat. I only use kamut, which has also other benefits. Yeah. I sprout it, and then I dehydrate it and make flour out of it, and then I ferment it, and then I bake it.
This is a lost art that I'm so happy to hear that you're continuing this. Not long ago, this is how most people baked and cooked and made bread, but our fast-paced culture wants everything quick.
Exactly.
And the quality goes down. You have cultures that are fast-rising. So there's many different cultures of yeast, thousands of them probably you could use. So Erica was asking how to choose, or how do you know which yeast to include. Right, it makes a difference in the bread. Not only the ingredients you use, but the type of culture that you're introducing. Right?
Yeah, I let the nature take over. I don't use any yeast. So
naturally occurring.
Naturally occurring.
By just letting the water and the flour sit out.
Sit out.
Yeah.
Because what the starter I got from Old Country.
Yeah.
It's already probably lived by the culture that came from the air in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it's different.
From my house.
Right.
Yeah. The same as sourdough bread. If I use that starter, it's not going to be San Francisco sourdough anymore. It will be Santa Barbara.
Yes, that's right.
Victoria's house sourdough.
So it's for somebody who's interested in cooking and baking. Sounds like it's pretty easy to make your own starter and then to use that in a recipe.
It is. You can use it from the potato or pineapple.
Wow.
Or you just leave it in the air. Where my house is in the nature, in the mountains, so it's clean air.
Yeah.
I don't have to add anything to facilitate it. It just ferments it and comes out beautifully.
Victoria, do you have anything on YouTube, or have you ever thought of teaching a class on how to do this so other people in Santa Barbara can create wonderfully healthy bread?
I would like that. It's a great idea, Terri. I have a short video which is on YouTube. It's sourdough bread lady.com, or I don't. You can or you can Google Victoria Peterburgsky Williamson, if you really remember.
And you know how to spell Peter Burksky, don't you?
Well, we'll find you. The listeners will find you.
Or you can find it on my website too. It's if you Google sourdoughbreadlady.com or email me sourdoughbreadlady@gmail.
Because when it comes down to it, to have homemade bread, there's nothing like it. And there's very few bakers in town that actually do that anymore. I live in Carpinteria, and the only place in town you can get freshly baked bread now is at the health food store. They just started doing it. Can you believe? The only place in town. So it's a desired thing. They sell out of all their bread each day, and I'm surprised there's no other bakers doing it. So it's great to hear you doing this work. Yeah.
Bread has gotten such a negative press since we stopped really baking it in a healthy way, and now people say, oh, you shouldn't eat bread and don't eat bread. That's because it isn't health-giving and life-giving like it used to be.
Yeah, it's also because wheat was genetically modified and it's not healthy, and it's been grain has enzyme that called phytic acid that keeps it in dry condition for years on the shelves without being spoiled, and that phytic acid prevents digestion. And that's why I soak it, I sprout it, which releases that phytic acid, and it's easier to digest. And I don't use wheat. I use kamut, which is ancient wheat, and it hasn't been modified genetically, so it's much healthier and has more benefits.
Thank you for sharing it with us today and for telling our audience all about this wonderful product.
Yeah. You're welcome.
And two things before we go to break. One is that it seems to me, from your description of the way that you make bread, the bread that's on the shelves in the grocery stores should be called something else, because it's not. And it seems to me also that what is old is now new again.
Yeah. Things come back around, don't they?
That's it. All right, awesome. All right, well, I know everybody wants to take a break because they want thirds.
Bread,
we passed the seconds, now we want thirds. All right, let's take a short little break. We got Sal Alvarez in the house. Let's take a little break. It's Erica Salda. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. And Terri, if you were to find us, where would we find us?
Everywhere. We are everywhere. You look for us, you will find us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on AM 1290, and on I'm not done. And on Teen Sports Radio.
Thank you very much. You'll find me too. Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
9 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at night on Tuesday. Then we have Sunday at 2, or actually it's 6 right now for 2 months, right?
Right, through the end of July.
Right, and then Monday.
Possibly into August if the Foresters
make it around. That's it. 6 o'clock Sundays, and of course Terri's favorite, 3 a.m. on Monday.
We'll meet you in the kitchen with a piece of pie.
No, I want to meet her in the kitchen with a crepe.
Crepe.
Yes, let's go to crepe. There you go. In the house, we have, put your hands together. This guy just never, I love this guy. This is my guy. Sal Alvarez, Santa Barbara Art Glass. How you doing, Saul?
Good. It's so good to see everybody here today, and I haven't been here for a while, so I'm glad I made it today, and it was nice to meet Mike this week.
Woo, Mike.
And
I have to call him Michael. You get to call him Mike. Nice.
Yeah, Michael. Okay, good.
Mike.
All right,
Mr.
Mikey. Okay. Anyways, it was good to meet you at my studio. I wanted you to blow glass, but I was a little bit busy over there. But you have to come back.
I told you, I mentioned this on the last show, that it brings back memories because it's just so ironic that that's where I met my wife. Yeah, you didn't know that. I met my wife at a glass blowing.
No,
I didn't mean it. No.
Yeah.
It still gets me too, man.
But I had you go in there for a minute. Yeah. See how that works?
That was good.
I've now heard that 3 times, and I love it every time.
It really
works every time.
Every week. Bring him in.
But anyways,
no. But I wish I met her there, but I didn't.
No. It's an awesome place.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful what you do there. Beautiful work.
We're
How'd you get into it? How'd you start?
It's interesting. Yeah, you can read my story because it's a long story, but you can Google. You can Google my name and Sal Alvarez, and they're like the second, right on the first page, the second paragraph. You can read the whole story. But I got involved at City College actually.
That's awesome. That's great to hear.
I was an ESL when I was learning English there, and that's when I that's when I saw the glass program for the first time, but I couldn't take the class because they required English 110. And I was an ESL, so I couldn't, I remember I was so depressed when I was going to when I wanted to take that class. So I studied like never before, man, in 2 years, from first grade all the way straight A's, something I never did when I was a kid. So
that's incredible. In the ESL program, I mean,
it's an amazing program.
If you get a chance, it'd be really cool to have you come talk to them. The department's grown incredibly.
I know.
And it is huge now. And they're doing a lot of incredible work. And the goal is obviously, 110, 111, you can't transfer without it.
Right.
And it's like, it's a rule. It's pretty hard set.
But that's how I got involved. That's how I got started. And then later on, my father-in-law came along. Amazing glass blower. So, I've learned from him. He passed on all his knowledge. He blew glass for almost 60 years.
Wow. So
he passed on.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So, and now I'm passing it on to my community and the kids. And I'm really excited about this summer because I know we're going to have a lot of kids. I'm already doing this with other, schools and nonprofits, and now with the Boys and Girls Club. Oh man, I can't wait to have all these kids and talk to them, and just
good stuff.
We have the next generation.
What I love about what you're doing is we love success stories. I mean, the people who have faced big challenges and still succeed in life.
Yes.
And I know that that's your story. You told me when you gave me a tour about when you first came here, how challenging it was.
Oh, definitely.
And now how you haven't forgot where you came from.
Of course, yes.
And how you give back. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Well, I was telling you a little bit. Well, at that time, I didn't, I came very young to this country. I had no one, no family. I lived on the street for a while because I couldn't go to school. I couldn't even work. I was around 13 years old. So I stayed low for a while, until I was able to, I remember when I got my first job, I was 16. I turned 16, but then I was so excited, because I was able to get a place and then buy my car, and that's how it all started. But I never forget, there's a community place. Most people don't know about this place, Casa de la Raza.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I just had an exhibition there about a month ago. And then one of the things I have never forgotten is when I was young and I had no place to go, that's where I used to hang out, and they used to give me food, and they had, games, they had all kinds of things, so I used to spend my days there. And 30 years later, here I am, my life has changed, and it's always been in the back of my mind. So I was able to raise about, $10,000 for them about a month ago for the youth program.
That's awesome.
Because they were going to cancel the youth program because they don't have, they're going through some tough time. So now we saved the youth program for this year, and now we're setting up all these tours and to come to the studio, and that makes me feel so good.
We had an opportunity to attend that event, and I have to say, the way that you exhibit your art...
You were there, right?
Oh, my God. Right. It was just breathless.
Oh,
so beautiful. Yeah, breathtaking. Thank you, Terri. It left me breathless. It was so beautiful.
Okay.
And the nice thing is, your art, you present things, especially for fundraisers, where someone who only has maybe $5 or $10 or $15 can purchase some of your beauty.
Yeah.
And then people who have, bigger homes can buy things that are just priceless.
Right. Yeah, we were able to sell a couple of nice pieces for good price. Good price.
What I love about what you're doing is, again, here we are, 5th of July, right? We just celebrated a very American holiday.
Nice.
And how great of an American success story is what you're doing. I just think you're exactly what the American dream is. That you came here with literally nothing, and you've made a life, and you didn't forget where you came from, and you're supporting those that are
true.
coming up the same way you are.
That is true.
That's
why
awesome.
I love this country, and that's why I love young people, because so many kids they take it for granted. They were born here. They have everything. They can be the president of this country. That's what I tell them all the time. And they're complaining about every little thing, They could do so much.
I'm voting for Erica. I've already started a petition.
Anyways, really quick.
We're looking for another candidate, and we think Erica could. We think you could do it. What do you think?
So this summer it's going to be. This summer is going to be really busy. I am not going to be here for the month of August. I'll be in Japan. So I'm going to probably blow some glass over there too. So that's exciting. That's coming up. So if you come to the studio during that month, I won't be there.
Please give us the full name of the studio once more.
Yeah, my studio is Santa Barbara Art Glass, and the number is 805-965-1541.
And speaking of where you're located, Casa de la Raza, right there on the east side, right near Milpas, and your shop is just a few blocks away.
All the kids walk over there.
So, I mean, this is great to hear because I actually used to grow up there. I would make my way from Guadalupe Church to Casa de la Raza and then finish up at the Boys Club.
Nice.
So I was literally on Milpas all of my life. And it is great to hear. I'm a product of the Santa Barbara School District. I'm a product of the east side. And this is awesome to hear. And now I need to really go over there.
Wow.
So no, this is awesome.
Great. Yeah, and if you want to check out our website, it's sbartglass.com.
Jacob was the gentleman that won the generous gift that you donated a few weeks back. So I don't know if I could say his last name or not. But Jacob, congratulations. So I forwarded the email back to him. I said congratulations, and I CC'd it to you. So we thank you for that that amazing, most generous gift, because I mean, not a lot of people can sit down and have a sitting with somebody who's a master glass blower, and that was just a nice.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. I could say. We got to go on a break. That's what I could say. Let's take a short little break. It's so we can get our 4th C's. I see a little bit of yogurt left. There's bananas left. The blueberries are gone, but we got some bread. Oh, look at that. There's a little yogurt left. There you go. So let's take a little break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. Dominique, where else can you find us? Oh, she knew I was going to go after her.
I like Facebook. Facebook's kind of fun. YouTube, Instagram, and am I forgetting another one? Twitter.
There you go.
TeenSportsRadio.com.
Very nice. Hey, Master Gardening, do you want to add something? I always said I would give us a couple of minutes since you spent 6 hours taking this long exam, $90 worth of Wi-Fi you had to buy on a ship during a cyclone. So, that exactly. Cyclone Colin. Yeah, exactly. It's dedication right there.
I finished my test and I graduated.
Yeah.
The fun thing is, in July, there's a little bit of a lull and a break, but what the Master Gardeners do is they join committees, because there's so many different things that are being done in town, including there's committees for grow your own salsa, there's committees for container gardening, there's committees for how to take care of your oak tree. So there are so many people in our community who are getting together and sharing knowledge. And then we also put on public presentations.
Nice.
So, yeah, I can share a little more about that a little bit later.
Well, that's awesome. So you've had an experience at Saul's studio, blowing glass.
Oh, wow. What a magical experience.
She means it, too. I mean, it was a wow. Serious.
Well, when you look at the whole thing in the ovens and the heat coming from the ovens and all the beautiful glass that you get to pick and put together your favorite colors.
She's like Michael Jordan when she blows. She sticks her tongue out. It's so weird. I'm like, what are you doing with that? Put that back in there. You know what I mean? Be like, what are you... I know. That's serious. When you go for the dunk,
when you first start, the metal rod's not all that heavy, and you're rolling it and twisting it and rolling it and twisting it, and then after about 2 minutes, it dawns on you physically that you're going to be rolling it and twisting it and rolling it and twisting it for a little while, and you can't stop.
My arms are just on fire.
Stop turning.
Yeah. But the way that you guide everyone through, wow. I mean, that's such a dangerous element. You're dealing with fire. And yet the way that you guide people through.
Heat. I mean, this is not, your marshmallow melting.
Exactly.
This is your body flesh melting.
Yeah.
But not that bad.
You have such a quiet, calm demeanor. You make a beautiful art accessible to anyone.
I love teaching. I really love teaching. So I try to make it as easy as possible for everybody so they can, because we see a lot of tourists. That's a lot of tourists. So they go home really happy. You can read a lot of.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's okay. You can read a lot of the reviews on Yelp and TripAdvisor, and you can see all the people that are so happy. Just the way I teach, and I let people do everything. In other places, they'll do it for you, and then here, you do very little. But
when I popped in the other day, you had a couple drove down 4 hours.
Oh, I know.
4 hours to come see you.
They drove 4 hours to be with me for, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, it sounds like it's ready time to expand.
I know. I need help.
Do you have apprentices?
I do. My youngest son, a 20-year-old, he's doing really well.
Yeah, he is.
Really,
I have one of his vases.
Oh, yeah?
And it's beautiful. Yes,
Yeah,
it's one of my treasured pieces.
Yeah, he's
absolutely
very
Have
excited.
you considered doing any training programs or like CEU classes for I don't know people in the arts, or like a small group apprentice programs, or besides your son, passing on your knowledge in a deeper way?
Well, we have talked about those things, but there's so sometimes. Well, first of all, the studio is not that big. That's one. That's why we need a big place so we can teach a lot of people, a lot of kids. But you never know. We'll see. For now, we're enjoying our time, and then the other part is the liability. That's another thing that my God, there's always something. But so that's another thing,
Right.
But one day at a time. I think it'll happen.
Yeah, keep doing your thing.
Yeah. But for the most part, we're just. I'm just enjoying my life and giving to my community. I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
If people wanted to come down and watch you work, is that okay?
It's open to the public. There's chairs. You can bring your lunch. You can sit and watch, and it's so much fun.
All right.
People do that.
Picnic and gas blowing.
Oh yeah.
It's fascinating to watch.
Oh yeah.
My head is that glass is solid, and that's just what is so, and then it breaks and it shards, and then I got to see you melt glass and weave it and move it.
We make it look easy.
Yeah, and it's just fascinating. It's
It's magical.
Metamorphical.
Metamorphical.
No, metamorphosical. Morphable. Yes, and it's just amazing to watch that happen. Yeah.
It's like watching a lava lamp, but from the outside. By the way, folks, forget about the reviews on Yelp. Go to Santa Barbara Art Glass and experience it.
That's right.
And you don't even have to bring your own sand.
Nope. We have it there.
What of all the pieces that you've done? That you've created. What has been the highest price tag of something that you've sold? What's it gone?
Well, the highest has been I collaborated with another artist that they did an amazing chandelier for a winery up in the Napa Valley. Yeah, that chandelier sold for like $250,000, but it was unbelievable. And then people just look at it and it's like, I created about a couple hundred wine bottles, handmade wine bottles with color. So we put lights in there, and the center bottle was huge. It was a really big bottle.
Sounds amazing. How many hours did that go in?
It took
many hours.
Hours and a couple months, maybe or more.
Big project.
Locally you could go to the Bacara, you could go to the Casablanca, you can go see all the stuff at the Andalusia. You can come to my office.
Andalusia.
It's
everywhere. It's all over town. My work is all over town.
That's so cool.
Bacara, we just created, one of the fountains that is unbelievable. Wow. At night, it lights up at night, and because of the water problem that we're having, the blue, it's pretty big. Wow. It looks small, it was in the LA Times, and everybody just goes over there and checks it out.
So, are you still learning, or do you think you know everything about how to blow glass?
That's a really a lot of people ask me that. One thing I noticed that changed in my life is since I started glass blowing, I could never sleep. I was always creating and learning and this and that. Now that has stopped, which is a good thing because I can sleep now.
Yeah, but you have to be careful when you sleep because creativity can come in your dreams.
Yeah, I'm very creative still during the day. No, but I can sleep now. And to tell you the truth, now maybe I have learned so much that I don't have to think about it. People come to me, can you make this? Can you make that? Well, let's give it a shot. Let's do it. You know, people come. The other day, this guy came in. He's a helicopter pilot. You know, can you make me a helicopter? I go, what? I have never done that. Well, but let's try it. I got all fired up, and I made him a helicopter, and it came out really cool. He couldn't believe it right in front of him.
Wow.
But I don't consider myself a sculptor. I struggle with that, but I'm a really good glass blower. When it comes to glass blowing, I can do something.
It sounds like you learn the fundamentals, the technique, and you have the experience, and then you can turn that off and just create. Definitely. That's the artist. That's the artist. So. But you have to learn the fundamentals first.
And also, I've always keep telling people there's a difference between art and craftsmanship. You know, you start as an artist, and then you grow. And then you become a craftsman after like 25 years. And that's probably what's happened to me. And it's like anything else, too.
It's just another example that I'm a firm believer in things happen for a reason. And I really believe you were born to do this. And you found your passion.
Oh, my God.
And you really, you can see it when you're working with the folks that you're working with. You can see that you really genuinely love what you're doing.
I do.
And there's so many people that go to work and hate their job. Just hate it. There's a lot of people that are listening in their car right now or driving that hate where they're going to work. You don't. And that comes across, and your customers appreciate that, too.
We could all be so lucky and find something that, can
definitely.
do like
I do it. I do it for love.
Well, let me tell you, you're a very close friend of mine. You're like family. You know that. And I tell you, I've got it. Meeting you through something that happened really tragically in my life when my mom passed. Your studio really, for me, opening up on Sundays and let me just come and visit and stay as long as I wanted it, just to like melt away. Like, it was really meant me a lot, to me. So I want to thank you, and anybody out there who's listening to this today, just check out his studio.
Come on over.
It's just come on over. No appointments necessary. It's worth it. It's awesome. It's just what you're doing is magic. And I just wanted to thank you again and again and again. Anytime I've ever asked you for anything, I can't tell you how many tens of thousands of dollars. We haven't even talked about all the things that you have given me to be able to donate to nonprofits for all of the auctions and everything, especially to United Boys and Girls Club. And with the relationship now that you've built with United Boys and Girls Club, letting all those kids come in over the summer and watch your work, it's just such an amazing gift. So thank you very much. God bless you.
That's what life is about. I only have 15 years for you kids.
All right. We're gonna have it. We have a short little break, and then we're gonna come back with more. This is Erica Salda. Stay tuned for more after these messages. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the creative team. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. I get goosebumps every time Saul gets, and he's going to stick around. Look, he's shutting the door. He's coming back. He's sitting down. All right, we got 4 minutes. I said, I give you pre-hands. Please don't leave. All right, Dominique, you haven't said much today. I don't know. You've been like eating. I don't know. What's going on?
Hi, Erica. Well, I was kind of contemplating some of the different things that have been in the news over the past month, 2 months. I mean, we're all up about the elections and everything, but we also constantly get hit with global events. And sadly, some of the global events are the terrorism events and so forth. But it just made me realize, wow, we are a neighborhood. When we hear about Germany, it's like we're hearing about someone in our backyard. When we hear about Florida, it's in our backyard. It's an aunt, it's an uncle. So the world, I feel like, is becoming smaller and embraceable. And it's really about creating communities and caring.
Nice. I want to just turn around now. Terri wants to say something real quick, but I like to take opportunities like this, and create like preventative measures. I know it's kind of silly, but it's not in any panic form at all. It's like, hey, has anybody checked out, does Santa Barbara have enough blood? It's like I said in the choir room, if you take 20 cities in the world, I guarantee you Santa Barbara will be in the top 20. So when stuff like this is happening all around us, because Santa Barbara is in kind as we are, because we're all connected. There's nothing more that I enjoy seeing the people that I see every single day and just, making a positive influence on them. And I think what we could do during this time with everything going around us is just like, let's just check the closets, let's just check everything, and let's just, what do you think about, Terri?
What do you want to check your closet for?
Earthquake preparedness. Just any kind of preparedness.
I know that one. That's what brought me here is the 94 earthquake. Yeah, I wanted to say that I've been hearing a lot of divisive talk, people who are saying we hate the terrorists, or we hate Donald Trump, or we hate Hillary Clinton. And I think that we each have to make a choice whether we're going to contribute to the darkness or to the light, whether we're going to overpower hate with love or fall into the pit and join it. And I think we each have an opportunity and should think about where we are coming from every day and what we are contributing to the well-being of our planet and our community.
Nice. Very well said, Terri. Thank you. Michael.
I concur with what you're saying, Terri. I deal every day with children, and obviously they're the future, and it can become a very overwhelming thought when you're worried about what kind of world these guys are going to inherit. But I feel great about where we are and where we're going to be going as not only here in Santa Barbara. What I would encourage everybody to do, I don't even want it to come across as appealing on behalf of Boys and Girls Clubs. Get involved in something. Any organization. There are thousands and thousands of organizations doing incredible work out there, and they need your help. Just call them up and get involved. Make a difference.
When I think about community, I'm curious and I wonder, from the kid's standpoint, what are those draws? What are the new ways of community? What does that look like? I'm not offering any solutions, but asking questions. What does community look like? And as we move forward, what are the new ways that community looks like? I'm just posing that as a question here.
Andy?
For me, it's language. How are you addressing the concerns? How are you talking to students? Very positive. Just changing your language is very key.
Hey, listen, we are an amazing community. We are a kind community. Let's just keep those in mind today. All right. God bless Santa Barbara. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.